The GoPro Mission 1 series of cameras has to be one of the most polarizing releases over the last few years. In this video, we're going to address some of the thermal questions on how exactly this handles heat from an actual GoPro representative, and also answer some questions you might have about focusing manually on the ILS camera. And before I move on, I'll actually leave a timestamp here to the news if you want to go directly to that. But I want to talk about some of the conversations going on around these new cameras. First off, I've had a lot of people comment quite negatively on my last video, saying that I was basically speaking too soon before actually trying the camera, when I was just pointing out some of the difficulties people will face with this fully manual ILS camera. And if you haven't watched that video, I will link it up here, and I highly recommend you watch that video if you're not sure whether or not the ILS is a good fit for you. We actually were able to get some numbers, what we can actually expect when using these Mission 1 cameras. Now, I think the thing that has been on most people's minds looking at the recent years of GoPro is how well these cameras manage warm situations, warm environments when shooting in 8K and also 4K, especially in some of the high speed modes on this camera. And we have some information. It is from a GoPro representative, unfortunately, so we don't have concrete information based on real world tests, only numbers that GoPro has shared themselves. But let me break down some of the numbers and let me pull out my phone so I can do so, because I'm super dyslexic. Now, the two approximate thermal shutoff times for the 4K, they're claiming when shooting in 240p, you'll get around 40 minutes out of your camera. And they said this is in an office sort of environment. So not a hot, warm, humid environment. I'm sure this is going to be an ideal sort of space where they're testing these cameras. So take this with a grain of salt. And then they also gave us some information on 8K, being able to shoot at 40 minutes in an office sort of environment continuously. Really big headliner, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't surprised by this, is that ILS camera. And with that ILS camera, we're able to finally see the way that it could be possibly rigged up as a cinema camera. So you get to see it with it fully kitted out, and then also just by itself with a single lens. Has to be a manual lens, of course, as I mentioned before. But now we know what to expect with that camera. And it is basically exactly what I was saying in my previous video. In order to manually focus properly, it looks like a lot of people will be opting to use, say, the media mod and plugging their phone in using a smartphone app in order to check focus. The different focus assist tools, it will include focus peaking, which highlights the areas that are in focus in red in your frame. And while it's not my favorite way of gauging focus, they also are including a zoom feature, so you can actually zoom in on your image with your smartphone, and it seems quite fast and responsive. So I think that's going to be the way that a lot of people are going to be gauging focus. Now, this app honestly seems like it is quite unfinished. I don't see any histograms. I don't see any vector scopes. And GoPro, if you're listening, in the future, we would really like to see more monitoring tools within that app. Now, if you're not wanting to use your smartphone, it really has still quite a small screen on this device. I think it's only 15% larger than the previous GoPro. So if you've had GoPro 13, then you'll have a pretty good idea of how large that screen is. And for pulling manual focus, you're really going to struggle quite a bit, especially with achieving sharp focus with something that's like a 1.4 lens. It's going to be next to impossible. So you really, I think, should be looking towards that smartphone display if you want to use this camera, because I really think that's how this ILS camera is best used. GoPro released two of the models, the base and also the Pro, on their website for $599 for the base model, and for the Pro model, $699 US. But there are actually some benefits if you do buy from GoPro's website. First of which being the subscription app. It's free for an entire year, and I think this is around a $60 US savings. Don't quote me on that. And then also it includes the grip that is like been quite popular over the last few years of the different action camera systems, and this is good for photography, mounting different things onto your camera. So if you buy from the GoPro website, once again, you get the subscription app and also the grip, which is included for free. Now, if you're a GoPro subscriber, you're able to get $100 US off, which is actually a not bad deal considering what all these cameras come with. Now, I'm not sure if you're able to stack this next additional tip, but I actually was able to find a promo code on Honey. I think it was Chris10, but I tried it again a second time and it wasn't able to come up with the actual discount. So it may work, it may not work, but I would really recommend you use a browser extension like Honey in order to see if there's an additional promo code you could possibly use with your camera. I was able to save around $60-70 US with it. So I highly recommend you do so if you're wanting to buy the camera. Now that we spoke about the two cameras with lenses built into them, let's talk about the ILS. The ILS still has that third quarter release date, but they actually have the price now up and you can actually see how much it's going to go for. And the price of that one will be $699, same as the Pro model, which is actually a lot better than most people were thinking. I think a lot of people out there assume that they would likely see an extra $100, extra $50 US added on over above the Pro model, but it's the same price. So a lot of people are actually pretty happy with that. Now, let me know, has anything surprised you that was mentioned today? And what are your thoughts on the three cameras? Let's be nice in the comments. Come on, I'm just trying to have people be aware of what they can expect with these systems. I'm more excited for the GoPro Mission 1 than the rest of you. So please don't call me a fanboy, a DJI fanboy in the comments, because that is certainly not the case. I really don't care whatever system brand I'm using. Does not matter to me. I'm only looking for the best. And I hope we all enjoy this journey together. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.